Hello and welcome. My name is Meredith and I am a member of the education team here at the Children's Museum of New Hampshire, and I'm excited to be sharing our first in a series of videos all about play-based learning. Now, we know that some caregivers and even educators are slightly overwhelmed by the idea of play-based learning, so we thought for this video we would start with the basics. At the Children's Museum of New Hampshire, we've been inviting children to engage in hands-on, play-based learning since we opened in 1983. However, we realize it's not as easy when you're in a classroom or at home. In future videos, we'll talk about setting up a play-based learning space at home, using movement for play, share activity ideas, and more. But for now, let's start at the very beginning. Play-based learning is exactly what the name suggests, children learning through play. We know that children learn through play, but sometimes it's hard to wrap our heads around exactly what they're learning, how they're learning, and ways that we can confirm and document that learning is happening through that play. Now, there are a few different types of play-based learning that you may hear about and want to try. Free play is play-based learning in its purest form. It's how we automatically think of play. Children selecting items or engaging in activities that interest them, by themselves or with their peers, for however long and in whatever way it holds their interest. Think of children playing with blocks, trains, or exploring a sensory bin. It's important to note that with free play, the grown-ups are not completely disengaged. They're there to supervise and may step in to offer supplies or materials or some suggestions, but in order for true free play to happen, the children really need to be choosing everything themselves. Guided play has a bit more structure from the adult caregiver. Grown-ups step in to provide ideas and directions for play. This type of play-based learning has the opportunity to lead to some more specific learning outcomes. It works well if grown-ups are observing the activities that children like the best and then using those activities to start some discussions that lead to further learning. For example, if a child really enjoys playing with cars and ramps, grown-ups can use this play as an opportunity to talk about cause and effect or speed and acceleration. In this version of play-based learning, the grown-ups take charge. They determine the activity, the lesson, and their expected learning outcomes. The activity should still be play-based and hands-on, an example, not a worksheet, but there is much more direction from the adult caregiver. For example, we could take those same cars and ramps that some children are interested in and turn it into a hands-on lesson about forces in motion and have all the children participate. Overall, if children are engaged and making their own choices and talking with grown-ups about their observations and discoveries, they're learning through play. In our next video, we will discuss why play-based learning is so important for this age group. We really hope you'll join us, and thanks for watching.